That was wonderful. Well, our community is so fortunate to have such an excellent person directing Project SAVE, Joan Prittie. With her UGA law degree and her expert skill set, Joan has grown and strengthened the programs and services provided for survivors of domestic violence over the last 14 years. With much credit to Joan, Project SAVE is a fine example of a well-functioning nonprofit organization. It shines as an agency with a compassionate heart, providing comfort and reassurance of a better life ahead.
One might be amazed at the number and variety of services Project SAVE provides. Services range from safe shelter to counseling, to transitional housing, outreach and prevention and awareness programs, and a 24-hour hotline, a teen texting line, job-related assistance and education support, children's programs, and legal advocacy. The list goes on and on.
In A Night of Stars, Joan is a star herself, having received both state and national awards for innovation. And just last month, Joan was presented with the annual Athens Award, by the Chamber of Commerce for her leadership and contributions to our community. But far more important to her is the way that Project SAVE has reached beyond Athens and the surrounding communities, area, to influence individuals and organizations across Georgia in improving the response to domestic violence in their communities. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Joan Prittie.
I have the standings in the audience favorite voting so far. I broke my shoulder and 3 ribs a week ago, so sorry, I'm a little stiff here. We've had so many changes in the voting that I'm actually going to give the standings to you twice. I'm going to tell you what they were at 11 o'clock this morning, and then I'm going to tell you what they were at 5 o'clock this afternoon. So at 11 o'clock this morning, in 5th place, Team 10, that's Sean and Cassidy. In 4th place, Team 8, Debbie and Joseph. In 3rd place, Team 3, Wesley and Natalie. In 2nd place, Team 5, Phil and Caitlin. And in 1st place, Team 6, At 5 o'clock this afternoon, in 5th place, Team 3, Wesley and Natalie. In 4th place, Team 5, Phil and Caitlin. In 3rd place, Team 2, Kip and Ryan. In 2nd place, Team 9, Ashley and Ken. And still in 1st place, Team 6, A year ago, I stood up here and I told you about a little girl who drew a picture of a machete and asked if all daddies chopped their mommy's hands. Week before last, I got to see her again for the first time in almost a year. I got to see her smile, got to hear her laugh. I got to watch her hold up 4 fingers instead of 3 to tell me how old she was. And she's not the only person from Project SAVE's past that I've gotten to reconnect with lately. 5 years ago tonight, March 30th, 2009, a 17-year-old boy stepped off an Athens transit bus and walked into our emergency shelter. 2 days after his mom had come in, something that he had facilitated by going to his school counselor. Between emergency shelter and transitional housing, our teen support group, and our project sales job training program. This young man worked with us for over 2 years, and beyond that, he became a volunteer and even a part-time staff person until he went off to college on a full scholarship. And he's here tonight with us as our special guest. Earlier this month, he came to our board of directors and he talked about his experiences at Project SAFE. And as he talked, he spoke especially fondly about our children's advocate with whom he worked very closely. And I realized that not just for him, but for most people who we work with, the whole of Project SAFE is represented by one person. The advocate who answers the hotline, or the person who handles their temporary protective in court, or the advocate they work with in a support group or at the shelter. But in reality, nobody works alone. Each advocate at Project SAFE is surrounded and supported by the entire staff. And us staff are surrounded and supported by our interns and our volunteers who work with us every day. And all of us, the staff, the interns, the volunteers, we are surrounded and supported by an amazing board of directors and our donors and our champions in the community. So that the reality is that every person Project SAFE serves is lifted up by a whole great crowd of people. And tonight, you are forming that crowd. You have 2 opportunities tonight, the intermission after Team 5 and the intermission after Team 10, to cast your vote, to make a contribution in honor of the team that you want to see win. But you are doing so much more than honoring your friends or colleagues who have worked so hard to prepare a great show for you tonight. When you make that donation, you are raising up your hand and helping to lift up someone who needs it desperately. It might be another loving son trying to find refuge for his mother. It might be another little girl traumatized by the violence that she's seen. It might be a woman fleeing for her life, or a teenager who's contacted our text line trying to figure out whether or not her relationship has crossed the line to abuse. You've probably heard the saying, many hands make light work. At Project SAFE, our work is never light, but many hands are what make it possible. And tonight we're asking for yours, for your hands to help our work, for your donations, to fund the support that we provide to help lift people up from the pain and humiliation of abuse. So thank you for being here. Thank you for that. And let's get back to dancing.